Okay, hi boys and girls. Here we are at the Polestar booth, and we're looking at the brand new Polestar 3. And I'm here with Joerg Brandscheid, and what we're going to be doing is talking a little bit about first the car, and then their relationship with Smart Eye, which is the crash avoidance system and everything else that's going on. So I've already walked around the car once. This is, I think, a step up from the last Polestar I saw. I was in Norway and Sweden to have a look at what was going on. I saw some of your factories and some of the new styling studio and whatnot. I'm really impressed with that. This really looks nice. I got to tell you, I already went around and looked at the gaps. Is this a production vehicle or is this a prototype? Or
it's still a prototype actually, and but in already quite robust status.
Yeah.
So it's hardware is quite well. We are finalizing now the software of the car, and it is then up for dealership by mid of next year. By mid of 2023.
Yeah.
The dealers will have it.
Good. Well, I really like the way it looks. I'm impressed with the build quality for a prototype. This is pretty damn good. Let's have a look at the inside, maybe a little. Oops. Here we go. There's a difference between German styling and Swedish styling. Differences like everywhere, right? I really appreciate this. Sometimes European styling is not really what I like, but I've looked inside here. I haven't sat in it yet, but I looked inside and it does look really nice. Let's take a look at the rear seat as well. This looks like a comfortable three-seater, or sorry, 3 seats in the back here. It looks, I know, huge, I guess.
Absolutely, and that was on purpose. Now it's the first Polestar SUV what we are seeing here, but it is not a typical bulky SUV. We really want to have one of the main attributes what we are fostering. It is design. Our CEO is designer, of course, and that is also what we try to achieve with this car. We still try to keep it quite low, but in the stance quite wide, so to give the car a really sportive appearance. And with this lower roof, you can think you have less space inside, but take a look inside. Well, it's really in the back, easy space for 3 people.
Yeah.
Front also no problem. You can even further expand the seat to the rear. I think here we worked also then with the design of the interior with the seats to gain the space.
Is it possible to open the deck lid there, or is that? Yeah. So what's the production volume slated for this vehicle per year?
Production volume per year, it's not completely fixed so far, but we intend to reach 50,000 units worldwide.
50,000.
50 to 60,000.
Yeah. So this is going to be like a semi kind of luxury car, right?
It's a premium segment, definitely. And you see that also in the materials, what we are using, interior materials. Yeah. It's another evolution step for coming closer to the carbon zero car. You know, we want to deliver the first CO2 neutral car by 2030.
Yeah.
This car is the next reasonable step to get it down.
Yeah.
By using certain materials, particular biofiber materials in the interior, but also selected areas as well. Even the recycling rate in critical elements like steel, like aluminum, we require now to increase with our suppliers.
Well, it looks like you've done a fine job. I got to tell you, I like the styling quite a bit. Like I said, sometimes styling from different countries kind of either puts me off or in this case, I like it. So I'm very, very impressed. What would the price be on this? What are you thinking the sale price is going to be?
So euro, it's 90,000 or 89.9 thousand euro. And then the adequate in dollars is roughly 95 or something like that.
$95,000 at today's euro, not.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
exactly.
hopefully the euro will go back up. But anyway, yeah, this does look extremely nice. I think this is going to really do well here in North America. I just do want to try one thing. I want to try this back seat out. Okay, so everybody kind of knows I'm kind of critical of the back seat in the Model S and the Model 3. The Model Y is fine. This one here is the same. This one is, I can feel it pushing right where I'm, like I've been walking around all day long. And having a back support, this lumbar support, is really a blessing. I think I'm going to do the interview from here from now on. This is really nice. I like the panoramic roof.
So we haven't touched the third attribute, what's quite important for Polestar, and that is performance.
Yes.
And I'm not talking about top speed so far, because that's anyway not the real target to reach with an EV top speed level. It's a big impact on range.
Yeah.
We also do not talk about acceleration from 0 to 60 miles or whatever. What I'm talking about is driving handling, with these behavior in curves, stability, and here we pay a lot of attention to give this feeling back to the drivers. Performance is an element, and I can promise when the season starts to test this car, you get a positive impact.
Yeah. Well, I noticed you're maybe the first car company I've seen to identify, your kilowatt hour rating and the fact that you can run at 380 kilowatts. So that's kind of a unique feature. Most people have no clue what that means, but for me, I think having that there is well. Actually, I'm not good. Why don't you tell the audience a little bit about why you put that there and what it means to the consumer?
It's usually performance indicator. Yeah, you have 300 kilowatt, both axles together. You have a dual motor system, 180 there, 180 there, and we put additional 20 kilowatt as a performance pack, and that comes to 380 kilowatt. And the 11 kilowatt hours is an indicator of the battery size. And implicitly, you can calculate somehow the range. It will arrive around 300 miles, 300, even a little bit more. What we think is a good achievement.
So if we put this into a comparison, Tesla has around 75 kilowatt hour battery, and Audi has 120. Audi, though, does not go 300 miles, whereas Tesla can come close. So this is really telling you, this part is saying the battery is big, and this part is saying it's got plenty of power. So at the end of the day, this is kind of, at about 100 grand, I think this has got a market, it really does. So with that, anything else that you can tell us that the audience needs to hear about?
Basically, quite important is our partnership with one of our USPs, what we now try to integrate, that is the Smart Eye, or kind of monitoring system of the driver with a smart allocation of cameras. And here we are cooperating with the company Smart Eye. We have these booths together with them, and also want to try to sell it. So it's first real car what is about to be launched with a new feature of a company. I think a good combination to bring this here in the audience and introduce this to the world.
Oh, great. Well,
and for this, I think I would hand over to the experts of Smart Eye, and they will explain you the system.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. Thank you, Joerg.
Welcome.
Thank you. So anyway, before we start talking about Smart Eye, what I wanted to do is give you an idea of what the interior here looks like. So a lot of people have used the what I would call distressed lumber, and but it's usually really coarse, and you wind up with slivers, and wiping it with a towel turns into an issue. This has got what I think is real wood, but but it's smooth, and so I don't think you're going to get stuff stuck to it. This is something for my wife. She doesn't like the way it works in Rivian. I like this feature here with the longer, it looks something like a big giant cell phone. I like this feature as well. I like the fact that I've got just what I need as far as speed controls and battery percentage and life, the things that I need to know like immediately. I like that. The steering wheel itself is good because it's got a couple of handholds where I like to be. So this this steering wheel to me feels very comfortable. The other thing is these are paddles. So what you're looking at here is there's your wipers, turn signals are normal, and then you've got your lights. Basically, this is intuitively obvious. Same thing as on this side. You've got reverse and drive, and it's got neutral, which is something you don't see in many cars. There is no neutral because the engine or the motors are always engaged and in park. So this will be good for taking it through the car wash and whatnot. Yeah, I think this is quite good. And then over here you've got, I'm assuming this is for your radio or something. Yeah, this would be for the radio. So I don't know, it's got a minimum amount of buttons. I'm not a big fan of buttons. It looks like everything here is just like my cell phone. So a lot of good things. A lot of good things here for the Polestar. So anyway, let's talk a little bit about Smart Eye. So right here I've got Martin Krantz.
Yep.
And Martin is going to tell us a little bit about what is Smart Eye and how does it work, and what's the differentiator between your product and what others might have.
Yeah. So the Smart Eye system in this Polestar car, it consists of two cameras. You have one camera just at the bottom of that little instrument cluster right there.
Oh, there we go.
So right here, it's one of the cameras. And on that plastic screen just in front of this tweeter up on the dashboard, that's the second camera that looks at the driver. And these two cameras, this is a very, very unique system that the Polestar has. So it has, because no other car in production has two cameras with this high, and also they are have very high resolution. And this enables you to make very, very accurate measurements of the driver. You can see exactly where the driver's head is turning and where the driver's gaze is going. And this enables some really neat functionality in terms of connecting the eye gaze behavior of the driver to the ADAS and the AD systems of the car. So up here, of course.
So wait a minute. Does that mean that that when you're driving this, let's say at level 3 or hopefully level 4 one of these days, you don't have to hang onto the steering wheel? Is that right?
Absolutely, because you know, if let's say that you have a level 2 system first, like the current systems.
Yeah.
I mean, you will know if the driver is paying attention or not. You will know that because you will see that the driver is looking at the road and having normal gaze behavior, eye behavior when you look at different stuff, look at the rear view mirrors and things like that.
Yeah.
That means that the driver is in the loop and the driver is paying attention. But if the driver is, for example, fiddling with the phone or doing something else for a very long time, I mean, you're not supposed to do that in a level 2 system, right?
No.
It's first when you get to level 3 that you're allowed to do that. But even if you have higher level systems, it could be very beneficial to see, to adapt the features of the self-driving functionality or the ADAS functions, like if you're tailing another car and things like that, ACC. To have that being adapted to where the driver is paying attention and looking, and that you will be able to do because you have very high safety demands on this kind of a system. If you're going to connect it to the ADAS system, right?
Yeah.
And that's where the two cameras come in to increase the accuracy, and also if one camera is occluded, the other camera can still make sure that the system works reasonably well. And all these things have gone into the design choice here of Polestar to put in two cameras instead of just one, which is the standard in the industry. Like if you compare to BMW or GM, they just have one camera in their DMS systems.
So I have a question. What made you decide on using your new friends here at Smart Eye?
Yeah.
What was the decision process, or why did you go in that direction?
Yeah, we were encouraging Polestar at the time. This was approximately 3 years ago, and we were encouraging them and showing them what was the difference in functionality in terms of choosing one or two cameras, because we have always been fans, so to say, of trying to make a really good driver monitoring system with high accuracy and high functionality. So we when we showed that to Polestar, and given that they really wanted to make the car really special with safety in focus and everything, they listened to our arguments, and they were of course selected to have this system, which is a little bit more expensive and have two cameras and all, but also give you more possible features. I mean, this is a software-defined vehicle with a big brain, like a big compute platform and so on. So it is expected to grow over time and become better over time.
So when the door is shut, I noticed that there's a picture of the driver sitting in here.
That's the avatar.
Yeah. So I was wondering. Oh, I see. There you go.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, what is the camera looking for? Like in the views that I see here, he's looking out the windows and stuff like that. But I also saw like his lips are moving and his eyes were moving in different directions. So what is it picking up then? Is it making sure that this guy is not intoxicated or something like that? Or
that's a future development of this kind of technology, to be able to detect intoxication as well. Right now we are mostly detecting drowsiness and inattention. So if, for example, I fall asleep, I could have a micro sleep, I close my eyes for a couple of seconds, that will be detected, and the car can react in different ways. It's up to the OEM, of course, how to react with the car. Someone would make a safe stop maybe, or you could start alerting the driver with warning signals. So different strategies for different OEMs.
So when you say warning signals, is this going to be like a Tesla and a flashing blue or something, or is it going to be audible? Like
or it could be both, or if the driver doesn't react and the driver doesn't wake up, maybe you want to make a safe stop.
Phone call,
call 911, make a safe stop and things like that. And also, but the drowsiness incidents, they do happen. I mean, we all have had one when we were really tired and driving, but it's much more common that you use your phone. I mean, it's illegal in most countries, but people do it anyway, and we detect that. So when I look down here on my phone, it will be detected that I keep my eyes away from the road for too long, and you can start react to it.
I see.
But also, of course, like I mentioned, to combine it with the advanced ADAS functions.
So is anyone else using your system, the Smart Eye?
Yes, they are. BMW has been in production since 2018 with our system, for example.
Oh, I see.
But we also have a total of 18 OEMs. Polestar is one of them, but also a lot of other ones. Yeah, I think this what we see here, it's the state of the art. I mean, it's no one has taken the driver monitoring to this level except Polestar. I mean, it's a really truly a world's first. But both this camera here and this camera here, they're focused on the driver, right? Like you have like, it's almost like a portrait photo of the driver, and you analyze with great detail exactly what's going on with the driver's face and the driver's eyes. What we are showing also in this at CES in our booth, we're showing the extension of this technology where we measure in the whole car. So we put cameras here, for example, could put the camera up here in the roof module looking at the passengers, and you start analyzing everything, the passengers, if there are pets, if there are children in the car, if there are forgotten items, if you forgot a phone, a bag or something in your car. You can also detect emotions of both the driver and the passengers. So that's something which we're showcasing in the back over there. And that's pretty neat. So, but I mean, this is what we have in production now. I mean, the mono camera systems since 2018, now with dual camera systems, more accuracy and everything. But in the back over there, we have what we believe will be in production from 2025 and onwards, where you really keep track of everything that goes on in the car.
Wow. Well, it sounds like Polestar has taken a lead here on this technology for sure. And yeah, I really appreciate you taking the time to show us what was going on. I'm sure our viewers are going to be loving it. So,
yeah.
But anyway,
and if you'd like to see that whole interior sensing stuff, I can show it.
Well, let's go over and have a peek then. Yeah.
Yep. So here we have, this is a one camera system, like the traditional DMS, looking at the driver, right? But we have another camera here, which has an even higher resolution, and we have another camera here. And this camera over here looks at the rear seat, this looks at the driver and the passenger seat. And what can we see more now when we have these three cameras in the car looking at the entire car, right? Well, we can, for example, see if I'm eating an apple here. You can.
Yeah, so here you see the eating now.
Smoking a cigarette.
You actually have to hold it like the person that smokes. Then you get it.
Yeah. So you can see here when you, we call it like activity detection. If you're drinking coffee, you will know what you're doing. So, and this is not only, it would be the same for you. If you were, for example, to eat an apple, it would say here, activity monitoring would say that, yes, you're eating currently.
Eating, yeah.
Yeah. But also, it would also detect our gestures.
I seem to have quite a bit of anger in my body here.
You have a little bit of anger.
Jumps around quite a bit for me. I don't know. I thought I was a calm guy.
Yeah, I'm more joyful there. Now I'm neutral, but yeah. So we detect emotions in real time of everyone in the car. Yeah. And why do you want to detect these emotions, you might ask? Well, it's quite interesting for OEMs when they have software-defined vehicles and they're going to update them with over-the-air updates all the way, and the car is going to evolve over time as it lives on. What we do here, when you have our technology, you have the ability to assess the reaction of drivers and passengers riding in the car to see how they react to different software versions or different features in the car and things like that, right?
Very good.
Yeah. So this is what we're proposing as like the next generation stuff for the OEMs to think about, at least, to implement.
Wow, this is all very interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing all this stuff actually being implemented, and maybe we can get one of those to use as a tear down. I'll have to cut Eric's salary in half in order to make it happen. So, but he won't care. It's all about the company for Eric. Yeah. So anyway, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Martin, and Mona. Very nice to meet you, and thank you very much for the expert information here.
Yeah.
So we're wrapping up here on day one. We're actually all going out to a Chinese restaurant tonight, my favorite Chinese restaurant in Las Vegas. So anyway, keep watching. We've got a lot more coming from the electronics show here in Las Vegas. Thanks a lot. Bye.